So after you've been working on an image or a tutorial, you're going to need to be able to save it. So first, there's a couple ways that you can do that. But the first way that we're going to do that is if we're not finished with the image that we're working on or the tutorial. And in that case, you want to make sure that you save that as a PSD or a Photoshop document. So let's assume that we still have more work that we need to do on this one. So we're going to go right up here. If you can see my cursor, we're going to File, and we're going to go to Save As. Right here, the name, you would name it how you would want that. Make sure up here that you know where it's at. Right now, it would be going into the Downloads folder. Let's say I wanted to put it in the Pictures folder. Let's say that you wanted to organize and make new folders. You can do that right here and rename them. I'm going to go ahead and save it in this one that's marked PSD. Because that's what I want to save it as. So I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to save it in the Pictures folder in the folder marked PSD. Right here it says Photoshop in parentheses, and it has PSD there. And that is what you want to have. That way you can be able to come back to it, open it up, and it'll still have all your layers over here, which means that you can still continue to work. You won't have to restart, and you can still, it would still be non-destructive. Meaning that you can go back to your original photograph. So after that, we're going to go ahead and hit save. After I have it named, and make sure it's on PSD in the area that I want it to be, that I know it's at. So I'm going to hit save. This is going to come up, and all that is telling you is that you want to maximize your compatibility, and that is dealing with if you had an older version of Photoshop at home and you wanted to open it up, you have a better chance that it will open up by maximizing your compatibility. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And sometimes you'll see down here, like there'll be a bar that it's saving it, but especially if it's not a huge image or a huge file, it goes pretty quick. Now let's say that this is finished, and I wanted to save that as a JPEG, which is what I would want to turn it in as. So I would go right up here, and I would go File. I would go Save As. And right here, make sure it's in the location that I want. Maybe I want to put it in a new folder. If I click there, and I want to call that JPEGs. Then I can double click on that, save it in there. But I do not want to make sure it's a Photoshop document. I don't want a PSD. So I want to go right down here, click on that drop down menu, and I'm going to go to JPEG, the top JPEG. So not JPEG 2000 or not JPEG stereo. So we want this one right here, and we're going to click on that, and we're going to go ahead and hit save. This screen will pop up, and we want to make sure that baseline standard is checked, and that if it's down here for quality, we want to make sure that it's all the way over to the right. So we want 12 maximum. And after that, you're going to go ahead and hit OK. Again, that is also pretty instantaneous as far as saving that as a JPEG goes. And that's it.